Welcome. We have some unique, cool guests joining us today. First, Northern Fire, we love you. And all listeners should flock to northernfirebbq.com and support those who support KFAN and 9 to noon, because Nordo and I team with only the very best. Somebody's going to win a prize at the end of the show, and here is Northern Fire's Hardcore Carnivore to share more.
Hey, it is a Talker Tuesday, and it is presented by Northern Fire Grilling and Barbecue Supply in Minnetonka, and it is indeed a Talker Tuesday. And what that entails is talkbacks free iHeartRadio app. Hit that microphone, give us up to your best 30 seconds, and at the end of the show today, final segment, we'll play a bunch of them throughout. One of you is going to win a $25 Northern Fire Grilling and Barbecue Supply gift card that you can use at the store in Minnetonka, or as PA mentioned, northernfirebbq.com, the website to go for all your hardcore carnivore needs.
Hardcore Carnivore, and the opportunity to share more. And speaking of more, Oliver Moore, Ollie Moore. Yeah, that Oliver Moore joins the mix today.
It's a great segment.
Totino Grace, Motzko, amazing memory a month and change ago on Big Boy's 21st birthday. Check it out.
Happy 21st birthday to Oliver Moore. How happy will it be for a possible game winner? Scores! Bar down for the shootout win. Oliver Moore gets the all-important extra point for the Blackhawks.
Bar down, Ollie Moore. Ha, 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 ha. Hopefully the Bears aren't in first. Ba-da-da-da. Wow. That's the 9:45 and promises to be sweet. Oliver Moore, beloved Ollie Moore. Drive-by bus trips to Tino Grace, Motzko, and the Blackhawks. Blackhawks and Wild this evening on KFAN. Oliver Moore's hurt right now, but still made time for the interview, and that'll be the 9:45. Also, of the cool and unique variety, former Gophers standout basketball player Trevor Winter joins during the final hour to chat about his son Nolan, a Wisconsin big set to embark on his third journey to the NCAA tournament. Nolan Winter, I've known Dad as long as I've been doing this radio show, and I'm pretty sure he's excited to get to Portland to root for and support one of the very best bigs in the Big Ten, Nolan Winter. And alas, it's a Talker Tuesday courtesy of Northern Fire, so let's get the good stuff rolling right now. And here is Nordo with talkback option numero uno.
So yesterday I was on X, ladies and gentlemen, and I saw a gentleman from Barstool by the name of Brandon Walker, and he posted on X. Now, I don't know Brandon, and just out of the nature of it, I got respect for Brandon, but he posted this on X. I need examples of a U.S. city with at least 3 pro sports teams where the NHL team is top 2 in fandom.
Oh my God. Say it again.
He needs examples of a U.S. city with at least 3 pro sports teams.
That'd be us.
Where the NHL team is top 2 in fandom. So he mentioned Detroit, D.C., and Tampa, etc.
Yeah.
But he also posted, some guys said Minnesota. I think the Twins are bigger than the Wild.
Come on!
Oh, my gosh.
So simply enough, a talkback option for you on a Talker Tuesday with the tastiest talkback gift card on the line.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Which means more, a Stanley or a Larry O'Brien?
Mm-hmm.
We know we know NFL, we know football always wins, all of that. Which means more, a Stanley or a Larry O'Brien? Talkback, free iHeartRadio app on a Wednesday, or a Tuesday rather. Give us the goods.
Talkback option number 2, or so says us, and it involves the slumping Minnesota Timberwolves. They host Phoenix tonight, and the Suns played at Boston last night. So it's absolutely advantageous our beloved Hal get those Suns off a game at Boston and against Tatum and Brown.
Yeah.
Who might have beaten them up a little bit. The Suns lost last evening. Booker went for 40, and they are 2 games behind Minnesota for the PAM. The PAM, the PAM. Play-in avoidance mode.
I always love that one.
Fans of the Howl. Fans of the Howl. King of the Roofs and everybody else. Please submit talkbacks identifying what's ailing our squad. Got to get tonight. Need to get tonight. And got to get tonight with Anthony Edwards not in the equation. Ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Edwards is out for tonight's big spot game against the Phoenix Suns. By the way, anybody hear Johnny Athletic and his smart basketball takes with bumper to bumper yesterday? I did. Barrero supports Ayo Dosunmu starting. And I'm absolutely in that camp. Guess I hadn't really thought about it as I was watching that Sunday game against OKC thinking, Dante DiVincenzo's playing really well right now. Mike Conley's seen his better days, but he's Mike Conley, and he's the absolute bomb. This team needs an identifiable point guard. Guess I hadn't really thought it out like, hey, what about Ayo? Barrero was kind of loud about it, too, and I liked it, supporting Ayo Dosunmu starting. And
is the idea that he's going to handle the ball so much more and take it out of Ant's hands in some regard?
It would be a true point guard playing the true point guard position. Whether that's less up and down the court as a point for Edwards or Dante DiVincenzo. But DiVincenzo's the key here because you can't sit Dante, as Johnny Athletic stated, because of how well he's playing. So you sit McDaniels, right? You sit Jaden McDaniels, right? With respect. He's having a really, really rough time of it right now. He was excellent March 1st at Denver in that victory. But it was a road victory, too. But since, he had an 0 for 9 against Orlando. 5 of 8 games this month. He has gone 0 for whatever from 3. And overall in March is just 3 for 22 from beyond the arc.
Yeah.
Defense up and down of late, too. They need a true point guard running the show. So why not Ayo at the 1? DiVincenzo at the 2. Edwards at the 3 with Randall and Gobert. Julius Randall is a point forward, so he could play power forward. And then you got Stifle Tower. That's a talkback special with that lineup if you want. Chris Finch joins Friday. Finchy on a Friday. Well, think about this. When OKC pressured Dante Sunday and it got really hot, he had his problems orchestrating the offense. And that's okay because he's done fine as a point guard this year. And I like how Dante is playing and plays. But the little snapshot we got of those high-pressure situations when the game was flipping, there were some problems. Conley can't play big minutes anymore. Dosunmu isn't a great scorer by any stretch. But he's a true point guard who knows how to get out of jams. And Ayo is fast. So maybe they'll play with more pace if he cracked the starting 5. Who knows? I don't know. Spitball in here. But they need to win tonight. Sans Ant. And opening...
I think they're still favored.
And opening 3 on that disease play-in bit with 3 to go. With 13 to go, that is. That'd be really cool. So it's a sneaky big one tonight. They've been pining... The Minnesota Timberwolves have been pining for a point since they whiffed on Dilly a couple of drafts ago. That was the tell. Taking Dilly, and okay, it didn't work, and Dilly's now a Bull, but that was the tell. Super high draft pick, point guard, we need a point. So as the Talkback Talker Tuesday goes, with a Northern Fire prize to be delivered at the end of the radio show, identify what's wrong with our Wolves on this Talkback Talker Tuesday. This is your chance to howl. And finally, Nordo.
Hey there. So we've been talking about free agency. We got some Kyler bids coming up. What's next for the Minnesota Vikings? All of those things. But at this stage of free agency, are the Bears just the thing? Are the Bears the class and the toast of the NFC North? And is that going to continue? They add Khalif Raymond. Oh, my, you've worried about Khalif. Garrett Bradbury, Devin Bush. Kobe Bryant off the champion Seahawks squad? Or do you believe that the Lions still got it in them? The Lions, after an injury-plagued 2025, they find an answer at center in Cade Mays. Watch out with this Giovanni Manu cat on the left tackle side. But the Kitties returning to prominence in the North? Or you are just so absolutely worried and are losing sleep over the combination of an eventually healthy Micah Parsons and Javon Hargrave manning the middle for the hated green and gold? Who indeed is the toast of the NFC North? Who do you fear most in the NFC North? Talkbacks. They're free. And you might get a gift card out of the deal. Your best 30 seconds via the free iHeartRadio app, and we will play them throughout the show.
Ain't nobody shortchanging Khalif Raymond.
Ryan Tannehill is the quarterback for Tennessee. It is second down for the Titans, just underway. I-formation play action. Tannehill with a deep shot to the left side, and Raymond got behind a corner, and it's caught at the 30-yard line. Holton Hill got beat, and he got beat by the seldomly used Khalif Raymond in his third year from Holy Cross. It's a 44-yard connection.
Holy cross, holy cow.
Did I hear a Holton Hill reference in that highlight?
Yeah, we had a Holton Hill reference in that. It was a pandemic related highlight, so you heard the fake crowd noise in there.
I think I heard like the grass rustling.
Holton Hill, holy cow, that's right. I thought Khalif Raymond had a touchdown in the game, but I can't seem to find said touchdown. So it's not a game changer, and we move on. Now, these suggestions for talkbacks do not have to be the answer. Hear us when we tell you that. These suggestions do not have to be the answer. 9 to noon is thinking of that stuff, but you can hit us with whatever your iHeart desires, and if you are so inclined. Like if the Wild are working on your last nerve right now, we got a Wild Blackhawks game on KFAN this evening, and we have a Vox in the Box Thursday from Tria in the capital city. So anything's in play on a Talkback Talker Tuesday with your opportunity to house a Northern Fire prize available near the end of the radio show. Why wouldn't you talk back? It's what we do at FM 100.3 KFAN. Norder produces, and I'm Paul Allen. That's all courtesy of TimberTech and TimberTech.com. What's on deck 9 to noon includes some VikesBites coming up next on 9 to noon via KFAN.
VikesBites 9 to noon. A little off season, doesn't happen every single day, but I mean, frankly, we could just frame up the Kyler convos and the Kyler cuts and the Kyler conundrum and the free agent bits. All of that, one way or another, has been a Vikings bite or a Vikings nibble. And I have a few for you here this morning, 9 to noon. Now, PA, before we get to, there was this piece via Sports Illustrated Monday Morning quarterback, Albert Breer. He chronicled, really in pretty nice and succinct fashion, Kyler Murray's decision to join the Minnesota Vikings. So we dig that, and we're going to dig into it. But this announced yesterday, I believe, Adam Thielen and C.J. Ham will be doing joint retirement press conferences tomorrow afternoon in Eagan.
Thursday.
Thursday. Adam's first 9 seasons here, a couple in Carolina, has the sadly the unceremonious stretch here last season before finishing with the Steelers, 6,700 receiving yards and 55 receiving TDs. I think he had a rushing touchdown in there somewhere as well. But C.J. Ham, of course, all 9 of his years with the Purple, 8 total TDs. Loved him every chance we got to see him. Special teams demon, pass protector. Maybe part of the free agent and moving forward conversation for this year's incarnation in the Purple. But we're going to get to see both of them and hear from both of them on the stage on Thursday. And it sounds like it'll be a pretty fun party down there at TCO.
Bastions of football excellence, both able to walk away from the game the way they want to walk away from the game. And they will have a lot of gratitude to be shared Thursday.
To this Albert Breer piece, PA, it caught your eye. I had mentioned a couple of nuggets in it to you yesterday off air that I thought were quite interesting. And
I'm glad you did that. It's the Monday morning quarterback bit that Peter King used to do.
Yeah.
And with respect, I didn't know Albert Breer was doing it. I didn't know he kept it alive. But when you mentioned that to me yesterday, I mean, that thing was chock full of league-wide fantastic nuggets.
It did, and it was, and it is, and I focused mostly on the Vikings side of things. But let's start with this journey. First of all, by the way, follow Albert Breer at Albert Breer, BREER. But the thing that hit me right off the top, PA, you ever had the Parlor Burger in Minneapolis?
Yes, I believe I have. Where would you get it?
Well, there's a spot on Washington. They also, I think, have a food truck.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I think I had it from a food truck.
No, I mean, the reason I'm bringing this up, if you read the piece, starts out, Breer does, talking about how Kyler Murray celebrating the various benchmark moments in his life. Well, it sounds like he celebrated closing the deal with the Vikings by going and getting a Parlor Burger. I mean, it's brisket, it's ribeye, it's ground chuck.
That's nice.
It's all mixed together. It's melted white American. It's a freaking egg bun. It's simple, and it's amazing, the Parlor Burger. But to this end, learning about how things ended up finalizing themselves in Arizona. The crux isn't the 2026 money, PA. It's clear that it was the 2027. We kind of just floating around. It's just, Kyler... lack of winning potentially in big spots, only one playoff game, and it was mildly disastrous against the Rams in 2021. But the good times and the bad times, all the breakdowns that we've done in the last week or so about Kyler and what it would look like if he comes here, and now that he is here, what are we going to get? Well, it's still kind of scratching. It's like, this team's paying you $35 million to go away.
Right.
That's odd. And he's been there for 2 coach firings now. This is kind of chronicled in Breer's piece. But one thing I didn't dig deeply enough into, and this is just my fault, $19.5 million of his money in 2027 would have been guaranteed had he stayed on the roster at the beginning of the year. And so general manager Monty Ossenfort, it's one of those moves, kind of like with Bill Guerin maybe in the Suter Parisi buyouts. It looks ugly, and there's pain associated with the move, but he, quote unquote, in Guerin's case, inherited the contracts of one Parisi and Suter, and Monty Ossenfort inherited the contract of Kyler Murray.
Steve Keim was the GM who gave it to him.
That's I was looking for, because Bidwell's the owner, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Bidwell's the owner. So that appears to be, and they couldn't trade him. They tried to lead it up right to the 11th hour. Couldn't get rid of him via trade, couldn't find a pick. Obviously, any team that traded for him would have had to figure out that guaranteed money as well. And so here we are. But by the time it was announced that he was getting cut, PA, they had already basically pegged Minnesota as the prime spot. And I found this aspect of it to be kind of interesting. So I'm reading from Albert Breer's piece, Monday Morning Quarterback. By the time he was released, Murray and his agent, Eric Burkhart, had identified as Minnesota far and away his best option, with the plan here being to prioritize winning. Sign the 1-year deal. As we know, it's a minimum, so the financials not that complicated. Hope for a long-term landing spot, whether it be his 2026 spot or 2027. Well, what's interesting here, as part of it, they'd come up with the idea to do Zooms with teams that might not have an interest in 2026, but could in 2027, PA, to take advantage, as it's written here, the fleeting freedom Murray would have to do so. But then in the very next paragraph, things wound up moving too fast for that. Does that imply that he didn't do the Zooms? Because I don't know if you remember this prior to him signing and the news breaking and us getting after it on Friday. It's kind of like, hold on here. So he's coming here to meet with us, but he's already so future focused. Like, is he hanging out down in Texas doing a Zoom with the Rams, right? The Rams and the kind of the idea, would he be a backup in LA with the presumed idea that maybe Stafford, it's one last ride, walk off into the sunset, and then he just takes over in LA with McVay? I mean, that's not a bad option, right? But apparently these Zooms may not have taken place. He came off the field from a workout in Texas. Agent's phone started buzzing. Vikings call came quickly. It was Briz, and it was Kevin O'Connell, and they got him on a plane to Minneapolis. Now, when he got here, he met with KO one-on-one. Then he met with Josh McCown, Wes Phillips, and assistant OC Jordan Traylor for various meetings throughout the day prior to signing ink on paper. I wonder how deep they get in those meetings. in terms of intel, in terms of scheme, in terms of what this could look like. What is the onus on Murray to speak freely about what he can do in XYZ system? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for those sorts of conversations.
If you take the 20 minutes teams get with rookies at the JW Marriott in Indianapolis at the Combine, and I think multiply or add to the intensity and the pointed nature of the questions and extend it some, I think it will be like that. Because the commitment you're making may not be that of the massive financial variety in this situation, but it may be down the road. So therefore, when you bring somebody in, you want to make sure they fit with what you're doing here. I can't imagine a meeting like that would have 10 of 10, love this, love this, love this, love this, love this.
Right.
I mean, it's O'Connell is so well prepared and he's so smart that they're just, I mean, there had to be a couple of, what were you thinking here? What was going on here? What was the read here? You know, like Chase Daniel, former quarterback in the NFL, he has a YouTube channel where he breaks down film on players. I spent 15 minutes this morning watching a submission that he put together recently on Kyler Murray in a game against the LA Rams, I think the second game of the season. And there are some otherworldly things that a first overall pick in any draft can do. Now that a lot of it was ballyhooed and glorified. There's the other side of the equation, which coaches are going to know about, and there are so many different things that teams will know about when they're bringing somebody in. Forget the deal 1-1. It's a quarterback in the National Football League. So I bet you the questions were pointed, but enough to get to the equation of everybody available right now, and then you factor price tag into it because we're balling on a budget. Accuracy and arm strength both there. Then as a staff, we'll take care of the rest.
You know, it's interesting as a side, you mentioned the financials. I mean, it's just the simplicity of it, given that the Cardinals are paying the bill. I mean, how nice is that?
Yeah.
I'll take a Coors Light, and then you hear, hey, drinks on me. I'll take a glass of Macallan 18, please. You can get a lot for $35, when somebody else is paying the tab. But to that end, I had seen some reporting done that maybe they had flirted with a second year. And I think that is interesting because we've talked about that, PA, where why would Kyler sign to a multi-year deal when he can use this as a launch pad?
Yeah.
But clearly, it was on the team. It was on the team's mind where, man, if we can get him for 1.3 this year and then lock him in to avoid the utter rat race that is expected to unveil itself a year from now, that would have been an extra W for the team. So at least they flirted with the idea of maybe trying to get a second year mixed in there.
If the reporting is accurate. I mean, there's a difference between, flirting or pushing for, we will do this if you do this. I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask. You don't create the poison pill and shake up the league without asking the tough questions. So, I mean, you can ask.
It could have been, hey, what do you think about a 2-year deal? Yeah. Oh, just one? Okay. Well, then we're fine.
Well, that technically would be a mode of flirtation, which means that leads to a report, which means that leads to a part of VikesBites, which means to land the plane on the whole thing. If Kyler Murray and his representation said, yeah, we'll come there and play, but there will be no franchise tag in 2027.
Right.
There was, I mean, if you asked the question, I mean, I guess you kind of got to ask it, but that never was happening.
Now, I don't read into that anywhere beyond just he wants the ability to sign a long-term deal somewhere based on how he performs this year. Because I've seen kind of it's a no tag clause and it's just a 1-year deal because they still want the flexibility with J.J. McCarthy moving forward as well. I honestly, I don't think McCarthy plays into that conversation at all. Do you?
None. No. And I think in that Breer piece somewhere, and I can't recall exactly where it is, so I'm playing off something that I saw in passing.
Might be the interesting nugget at the bottom of the article.
And it was, why don't you share?
Yeah, and this is one of the final paragraphs. Before they left TCO to eat that parlor burger, Breer writes, and while Murray still has to win the job from McCarthy, What O'Connell said to Murray did stick with him, that he was the one guy on the market that they could see as a potential long-range answer rather than a one-year Band-Aid.
Bingo!
The idea of growing with Jefferson and Addison, Darisaw and O'Connell and his staff, oh my, was already wildly attractive to begin with. The chance to, perhaps, put down roots only made it more so. And then they ate a burger.
The first player that caught my eye in free agency a month ago, former Niners receiver Juwan Jennings.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned it multiple times, and including last week, where it's like, from what I've learned, Juwan Jennings and his representation with their request, I'm not going to say it's outlandish, but they're shooting for the moon. And they're like, hey, Debo left, you had all these problems with Ayuk, and Kittle went down, and then we got this Tongas, who had some good moments, and of course we got Christian McCaffrey. But through all that, Juwan Jennings was always available, and Juwan Jennings came through as a pass catcher. Okay, Juwan Jennings can run routes and catch passes. It's his leadership, his physicality, and his smarts for how to play the overall game. He fits so beautifully here with Addison and Jefferson, but we're balling on a budget. And I don't know exactly what Juwan Jennings' requests are, but I know he's still on the street, and we're deeply into the second wave of free agency now, so he might come back with those. I'm just merely stressing, even though I don't think it's going to happen, how great it would be to have that type of player on this team now that Kyler Murray might be your quarterback.
Well, and that brings me kind of to my final VikesBite, is per spot rack. So this is why it's so confusing, and I'm just not even going to try to dig too deeply into it. Per spot rack, Vikes have $14 million in cap space. Over the cap says $5 million. So there's a $9 million gap there, and one site is either missing something or added something, etc. So we got to figure out what lies in that divide.
Yeah.
But Brian O'Neill, still into the final year of his deal, and he's going to get paid $23 million. Is there any extension on the horizon or a lever that could be pulled to try and free up some more cash? Because you like the idea. Okay, we added a corner into the mix. That's cool. We got the QB. QB's been kind of the obviously the loudest and the biggest talker of all of it here in Minnesota. But it feels like Rob and company are still working behind the scenes. Their steam has kind of settled on Jonathan Grenard and the idea of trading him, which I just kind of want them to get the money right. I like Grenard on this team, and I'd like to keep him.
Same.
But whether it's a fat guy in the middle, it's the third wide receiver, Juwan Jennings, this just doesn't feel like a finished product for Mr. Brzezinski.
No.
And
they'll bring in a veteran receiver. I mean, you got Ty Felton too, but it's when you bring in Kyler, you bring back Aaron Jones, and you have Jefferson and Addison where they are in their careers. It just seems like there will be a veteran receiver to join the Minnesota Vikings. But Juwan Jennings is a veteran receiver. He just happens to cost a lot more than I ever thought Juwan Jennings would cost. I'm not the only one who recognizes this is a supreme fit for the way the Vikings are orchestrated with Murray into 2026. They'll have a veteran receiver. I just don't know who it is.
Well, and I don't know if you saw the news yesterday, but Christian Kirk came off that list of available. We had talked a bit about him, their connection and everything. I mean, you start looking at this list, my man. I mean, Brandon Cooks is out there.
Who signed Kirk?
Tyler Lockett. I got to find it. It's right on the tip of my tongue.
That's all right. Was it a lot of money?
It was like 1 year and $6-ish million here.
Yeah.
And it was with the Niners.
Yeah.
I think it was $6 million. Let me see here.
Juwan ain't going back to the Niners.
The deal is for up to $6 million. Yeah.
Yeah. And outside of the best friendship, Christian Kirk and Kyler Murray are best friends. And they have been since college when they played together. And then they played together in Arizona. Kyler played a lot into Christian Kirk getting a life-changing deal. Kirk played a lot into Kyler Murray getting a life-changing deal. Christian Kirk is faster than Juwan Jennings. I'm taking Juwan Jennings for the 2026 Vikings 10 of 10 times over Christian Kirk. I mean, I know run blocking for wide receivers is not the sexiest talker in the history of talkers, but when you have a quarterback who is a running quarterback, he's not the quarterback who can run. He is a runner, and he runs like the wind, and he's really good at it. Blocking downfield's kind of important. So, Juwan Jennings, man, I hope if he lowered his stuff and we were able to get him here while balling on a budget, that would make my day.
Well, it's not just that, but Greg Dortch is available. That's the interesting thing about moving forward. We always kind of joked about it balling on a budget, that the names were not going to necessarily bowl us over.
Yeah.
But maybe they could play a part. I mean, Juwan's in the mix. You can grab 34-year-old DeAndre Hopkins. Debo is a free agent. Curtis Samuel's a free agent. Stefan's a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
Just joking on that one. But otherwise, you're digging into like the Tim Patricks, the Hunter Renfros, the Braxton Berrios is Juju Smith-Schuster. So names like that. Tyler Lockett.
Yeah.
It's just Dante Pettis. I think he's a former Niner as well.
Who were the first four you mentioned?
Well, I was just rattling off names with Brandon Cooks, for instance.
No, not him. You said somebody in there who I like.
Dortch, DeAndre Hopkins.
Nope.
Not Kadarius Hodge, probably.
Nope.
Zay Jones.
Nope.
Tim Patrick. Let me see. Debo.
Yep, Debo. And Johnny Poe.
Debo Samuel.
Debo knocks you funny. Johnny Poe scores the goals. I don't mind. I mean, Debo, with all these injuries, I don't know. He wasn't the fastest thing in the world in the first place.
No.
But I'm thinking smarts, toughness, and position flexibility.
Yeah.
And playing with a team that would be better than the team for which he played last year. So, and I can't believe Debo would cost that much. It's Juwan Jennings or bust for yours truly.
Juwan Jennings, still available as free agency continues on. That's VikesBites, presented by absolutely nobody, but cool piece by Albert Breer. Some things going around locally, and still some work to do for Rob Brzezinski and the Purple and Egan.
Good job with that. When 9 to noon continues, we skate on over to the NHL with a Covenant catch-up. The young man's name is Oliver Moore. He's a centerman for the Chicago Blackhawks. The dreaded Stars heard him a week and change ago. So 21-year-old Oliver Moore is on the sideline right now. Totino Grace, Motzko's Gophers, and Chicago Blackhawks. The Wild and Blackhawks play this evening on KFAN. Executed a Covenant catch-up with Oliver Moore, and you'll hear it next via 9 to noon on KFAN. All right, 9 to noon continues, FM 100.3, KFAN, and I got to know Oliver Moore last season when he played for Motzko's Gophers, and he'd help us with some bus ride drive-bys. Now, sadly, Oliver got hurt against the dreaded Dallas Stars a week and change ago, but before that, in his first full NHL season, it happened to be going quite well for Oliver Moore and the Chicago Blackhawks, and the Wild are at the Hawks tonight on KFAN, and the Totino Grace product joins us now. How are things, buddy? Sorry about the injury, but other than that, how have you been, Oliver?
No, I've been great, PA. Thanks for having me on. It's always a pleasure coming on here. I remember the bus rides last year were a lot of fun. But no, I've been great. It's been fun to watch. I mean, a couple of games our team's played here. Obviously sucks to take the injury, but, like you said, I think it was a step forward this year for everyone here, and it's been a lot of fun.
I mean, like last year when you got there and played a handful of games, maybe a little more than that, I mean, that had to be a whirlwind, right? Then you get an off season, a training camp, you head into the season, you're playing a fair amount of minutes. So, I mean, it seems from afar, Oliver, like you really feel like you're part of it this year.
Yeah, I mean, last year was a crazy, crazy time for sure. I mean, after the season, it was a tough decision to make, obviously, but good off season. And then this year, I mean, definitely feels a lot more part of it. New coach here too, so feels like we're building towards something, which is exciting. And I mean, it's still crazy, still a dream come true, obviously, and grateful for it all.
Oliver just turned 21 years of age a month and a half ago. And on Ollie's 21st birthday in Raleigh, North Carolina, he scored the game-winning goal in a shootout against the Carolina Hurricanes. Let's take a listen.
Happy 21st birthday to Oliver Moore. How happy will it be for a possible game winner? Scores! Bar down for the shootout win. Oliver Moore gets the all-important extra point for the Blackhawks.
Are you kidding me with that, man? Are you kidding me with that, Oliver? Did you sleep? Did you sleep at all that night?
I honestly no, because I got in a fight that game too, PA. And it was usually after a fight, it's pretty tough to fall asleep.
Okay,
My first one ever too.
All right. So you score the game-winning goal in a shootout on the road to sit all the home fans down, and that's a sneaky good hockey market. I mean, they really care about their Hurricanes.
Yeah, it's a tough building. Yeah,
you had an assist, and you had the Gordie Howe hat trick. I didn't know that.
No, I wouldn't call it that. I mean, I guess you could if you want to, but scoring in a shootout.
Oh yeah.
You could say it's a Gordie Howe hat trick, but I don't like to say that.
I know what you mean because you got high expectations, and okay, but still,
yeah.
I mean, and when I watched it back yesterday, and that with that highlight we dropped, it was awesome to see all your teammates surround you by the glass. And they all knew it was your birthday, and you're one of the kids on the team, and you got like Nick Foligno, one of the veterans.
Yeah.
What a great moment, right?
I know. Yeah, that was one to remember for sure. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, it's funny. I lined up on my birthday that way, and I don't think I've scored in a shootout. And I mean, at the Gophers, we had struggles in the shootout by 2 years there. I don't think we scored a goal, which is crazy. They scored this year, but I hadn't scored in a shootout in like 3 years, so I finally snuck one home. But so yeah, it was a great moment. One I'll remember for sure. A lot of text and a lot of fun. Good moment.
Hey, speaking of Nick Foligno, who's here now, and is Moose, his brother Marcus, is out, but he'll come back relatively soon.
Yeah.
What was Nick like when he was with the Blackhawks?
He was the best leader you could ask for, honestly. Yeah, he obviously being an older guy with a lot of younger guys. We got the chance to go to dinner with him last night with them being in Chicago and just hearing the difference between the Wild and the Hawks and all that. It's pretty funny. He feels like he's more. I mean, it's different when he's not in a room with a bunch of young guys anymore. But
yeah.
I mean, he was awesome. I mean, took us to his cabin last summer. Right away, it made me feel comfortable and like a part of the team. And then this year, obviously, you get to see it in the locker room, just like the kind of guy he is and type of person too, a family man, and someone I think the Wild are gonna love having for sure. Just with this play on the ice too, I'm excited for him and for the Wild right now. Honestly, it's good times.
Amen with that, Ollie Moore. This is Oliver Moore to Tino Grace, Golden Gophers, and now the Chicago Blackhawks. Got hurt a week and change ago, so he's not going to be playing in the next two between the Wild and the Blackhawks. But a covenant catch-up with Oliver Moore, who just turned 21 years of age. This is absolutely fantastic. And you guys have played the Wild twice this year. You played in both games and lost both 4-3 in overtime. When you played on the road at the Wild, Grand Casino Arena for the first time, what was that like?
It was absurd, honestly. I remember just warm-ups. It's just weird. You're watching games there your whole life, and then I mean, it was a dream come true for sure, but definitely really weird. It took me a period or so to get adjusted to just that. I feel like it more than any other road game for sure. I mean, the Wild were obviously, like I said, my hometown team, my team growing up. Me and my buddies always watched and stuff. So I mean, I got adjusted to it, and then it felt like a normal game, but took a little bit more longer than usual for sure.
Hey, let me back up a couple of minutes to that amazing 21st birthday game-winning goal. Did you win the fight, and who did you fight?
Oh, I shouldn't even brought up the fight, to be honest, because it wasn't good for me.
Oh, geez.
I fought Alexander Nechishkin. He's a rookie. He's like 24. Mm-hmm. He's a Russian. So, didn't go well for me. I think he's like 6'3", like 210 or so.
Oh, geez.
215. I'm 5'11" and all of like 190. So, he got the best of me for sure. But
hey.
I mean, it was a moment in the game where I had to stick up for a teammate. It felt like, and needed some momentum. So, I mean, I don't know if that's my calling card, P. I don't think I'm going to be able to drop him very, very more often. But when the time comes, just try.
Well, you know what, my brother? You lost that battle, but you won the war with the shootout. You won the game and got the 2 points.
Yeah, you could say that.
How often does your family get to Blackhawk games?
Pretty often. I mean, I think they've probably come down 4 or 5 times this year.
Sweet.
Just it's tough with my sister's a senior in high school now. She's actually on her senior trip, and then my brother's a senior in college, so they're trying to enjoy that time with them too. But I mean, pretty often. I mean, it was obviously awesome when we played the Wild and easy for them, but yeah.
How Oliver Moore, Chicago Blackhawks? How hard is it to consistently win faceoffs in the NHL?
Very, very difficult, I'd say. I think it's like one of the bigger adjustments, for sure. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it that you didn't really know. I think the importance of having a good relationship with the linesman is huge, honestly, for like winning draws and stuff. Try to get a little extra something, but
love that.
Yeah, like every little detail matters and everything matters. But there's some big boys. I mean, you're going Fliggy's obviously a face-off guy. Michael McCarron there at the Wild, big face-off guy. Eric Sinek, huge face-off guy. So like, there's guys who that's their job and that's what they got to do to help their team. So. It's difficult. It's a big adjustment for sure.
What's it like playing with Connor Bedard, and what makes him special?
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, he feels like another teammate I've had. Obviously, the things he does on the ice is special, but I've gotten to know him pretty well here just the last couple months as a guy too, and I think that's what makes him. He's a great guy. Definitely doesn't let the hype get to him or anything like that. Super humble kid, and I mean he's a good friend. So I think it's great to be around, and obviously special what he's going to do for the Blackhawks and the next however many years. I think it's exciting times.
Yeah, you guys are so young, man, and you got some super young talent on the horizon. We'll talk about one of them momentarily, and you just got to get experience. And I loved what you said about the face-offs in the NHL, and even at age 21 or 20, man, getting in with that linesman, because that's only going to help you, not only now, but the rest of your career. Let me ask you this. How in the Stars game, how did you get hurt, and how bad is it?
I don't know if I can say how bad it is. It's been...
Got it.
I don't know what I could say about that, but I just was going on the forecheck and kind of... Yeah, I mean, I was kind of first man in, and then Blackwell was behind me a little bit, kind of shoulder to shoulder with me, and we just bumped a little bit. I kind of lost an edge, and my ankle just went right first into the boards there, so I took the blow. And then, I mean, it's not extremely bad. It's not going to affect, like...
Yeah, no, I got you.
It's not going to affect my oxygen or anything like that, but, no, I mean... It was unfortunate. I wish I was playing in these games, especially coming up against the Wild and stuff. But
right.
It's. I think I can learn a lot watching too, and take stuff from that.
You know what? I don't know who it is, but I got to credit the leader of your media relations team. Even at age 21, they're raising you well, brother. They
didn't say anything. I just don't even know whether I can because they haven't said anything. So it's like I don't even know.
Well, that's exactly why. So I mean, hey, being talented's one thing, being smart's another. Put those two things together, it sounds like 15 to 20 years in the NHL for Oliver Moore. You're very good at what you do, but you're also a fan of the game. So have you either last year when you were 20 or this year when you're 20 and 21, have you played against anybody where you were like, wow, that's so-and-so? Then you had to snap out of it because you had to play the game.
I mean, I think there's a couple of guys. I mean, I feel like there's a couple of guys. Obviously, Carrillo is one of them, just watching him. I mean, not growing up like he came...
Yep.
Well, like 3, 4, 5 years ago, but obviously, like, what he's done and what I've watched him do before I was drafted with the Blackhawks. I mean, he's someone who you looked up to. McDavid was the big one for me, I feel like, though, just because I was legit, like, I mean, I loved him growing up. I loved watching him. I tried to play like him in Bantams and high school and all that. But, yeah, I think he was probably the big one for me where I was like, wow.
Have you...
And then he danced me, so... And I was like, wow.
Well, what happened? I mean, just like a patented McDavid move?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was like a... Yeah, kind of, I'd say that.
All right, a few to close here. Oliver Moore, Totino Grace, Golden Gophers, Chicago Blackhawks, Wild and Blackhawks tonight on KFAN. Have you taken any or many face-offs against Nathan MacKinnon?
I've taken a couple.
How'd they go?
Yeah. I think he's gotten me a couple times. I mean, I think I've maybe won a couple against him too, but
yeah.
I don't know. Nothing. I don't think I've taken like a ton against him.
All right.
You know?
I mean, you're 21 years of age. You're what, 5'11", 190. So, I mean, you're going to grow. Okay. You're going to grow and you're going to get bigger. But like when you watch McDavid, McKinnon, some of these other guys on TV, and then you're in the circle opposite Nathan MacKinnon and he's so big, like the first time you saw him in person for a draw, I mean, you had to be like, holy cow, you're bigger than I thought on TV.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, that's the thing about those guys. They like look big too, right? Like when you're on the ice against them, they're strong and they definitely have that like man strength that I'm still developing. So yeah, I mean, from watching on TV, I mean, when you're in the game, like you can't like be like, oh shoot, that's Nathan MacKinnon, because you got to play too.
Yep.
And he's just another opponent. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. I think that's what you want in hockey. You want to play against the best and do that. So it's fun for sure. What
Oliver, what's it like living in Chicago? Such a cool city.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm renting an apartment out here now, and yeah, it's a cool time, I think, for Chicago sports as well, and just the city. Obviously, great restaurants and stuff, but yeah, it's amazing. It's definitely a big adjustment from Dinkytown.
Time for two more. Do you know Mason West from Edina? Like you, he was a first-round pick by the Blackhawks, and he has 19 points in 30 games for the Fargo Force. So he's in the system. Do you know Mason at all?
I don't know him too well, like personally. Honestly, I haven't got a chance to meet him or anything like that, just because he was a little younger. I didn't get to see him at Def Camp, and then I just didn't run into him growing up. But I've obviously heard great things. I thought it was pretty cool that he went back for another year of football too, and then won the state championship, and then he's a first-round pick. I mean, he's got it going for him for sure, and I think it's exciting, just like their young prospects too, and with the Blackhawks and stuff. It's hopefully guys like him will come in and make an impact too.
With you, Bedard, and so many others, man, you guys have so much young talent in that system. It it has to be exciting, and you renting that apartment in the city of Chicago, and you being a Minnesota Vikings fan, it had to be kind of difficult with the Bears and how good they were this year, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was weird, honestly, because I found myself on the couch with a couple of the boys cheering for the Bears in that game when Caleb threw that crazy pass or whatever.
Yep.
But it's also at the same time, like at heart, I'm always a Vikings fan, and yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be great with Kyler Murray coming in. Him and JJ are probably gonna have some competition, but no, I think it's weird. It is, because I'm a Vikings fan at heart, but you don't want to, just completely get rid of them and go for the Bears. I'm not gonna hop on that bandwagon quite yet.
No, man, you got too many years of Minnesota Vikings heartbreak-related equity. So if they do something really, really well, you got to be there for it for sure. And you mentioned Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Okay, say he starts this year. Kyler can be a very exciting player. Have you been a fan from afar?
Yeah, I've watched him in Arizona a little bit for sure. Yeah, I think that he's, like you said, I think he's got a lot of talent, and he can throw the ball, obviously. So he's had success there in Arizona too, I think, just like individually, and we'll see. I think it could translate, obviously, with Kevin O'Connell, right? I mean, you know more than I do, but
yeah.
we'll see.
I'll tell you what, man, 15 years from now, if I'm still doing this KFAN show, I know who the co-host is going to be. And it's going to be you, Oliver Moore, for your vast knowledge of all sports. Hey, I appreciate you greatly, buddy, and we'll catch up this summer, okay?
Yeah, we'll catch up. Thank you, PA. Great to hear from you.
Oliver Moore, Minnesotan with the Chicago Blackhawks. It's 10:02. Back after this.